If I were to ask any one of you right now, what's the most important issue in your life? I highly doubt any of you would say anything remotely involved with our government, or the system that we're currently living in. But what most college-level students, just like you and me, don't realize is that it's our role to vote, just like it is anyone older than us. But before you vote, you have to know the issues that are at stake. It's our responsibility to elect congressmen into office that we know will fulfill our wishes. You want to elect someone that would do exactly what you would do if you were in office. Many of these issues are based on own personal beliefs, but there's one very important issue that's looming over Congress. The issue of tax reform, how it needs to be done, why it needs to be done, and who it needs to be done to. I am confident that most of this country, even at our age, has heard something of the concerns of the congressional lockout this past August. Most of us probably wouldn't know anything about the subject if our show hadn't been interrupted by a presidential speech. In the middle of the arguments were two parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. What most wouldn't realize, however, is that they all agreed the debt ceiling needed raised. But what they were using their votes as blackmail to get what they wanted. The main issue at stake? Tax reform. The bipartisanship in Congress to support tax reform is something you don't see very often. That claim alone is enough to support that politics knows tax reform is necessary. So why are there so many problems? Corporations. And all of the big money that they have behind their backs. Our country is $14 trillion in debt, according to Howard Gleckman of Forbes.com. $14 trillion. That's over 140 trillion packages of ramen noodles. According to BusinessWeek.com, corporations bank billions of dollars in profit every year, and yet somehow they manage to find endless amounts of loopholes to avoid taxes. Currently, the base tax rate in the United States for corporations is 35%, according to BusinessWeek.com. However, Businessweek also reported that Home Depot paid its fair share of taxes in the past few years, averaging just around 35.4%. But the corporation superpower, GE, paid no taxes in a few of the previous years, and in the years that they did pay taxes, they kept it under 6%. Over the 9-year span GE paid these low rates, they added nearly $18 billion in profits to their income statements. That is $18 billion the government should have had. Loopholes like these should be non-existent, and a flat rate should be given to all corporations. All of these loopholes have gotten corporations very hesitant to support reform. GE, for example, is afraid that corporate reform will put corporations at a disadvantage compared to foreign countries, according to Businessweek. Our goals in reform aren't to punish corporations, but to put all American companies on a level playing field. GE doesn't want to be at a disadvantage, but there are companies here in the United States already at a disadvantage because they don't qualify for some of the same loopholes. Also, Joseph Thorndike has written that corporations are doing just fine with the current system. Of course this is true. They're making all kinds of extra money. But without more government revenue, who knows how long our economy will last? And without an economy, the companies that are based in the United States are going to crash regardless. As Simon Johnson of the Baseline Scenario reported, the goal is to aim for tax neutrality, making for a level playing ground for corporations. Don't you expect, as a college student, for all of your grades to be computed fairly? Or would you rather that Tim in the front row gets straight A's all because he dresses nice? This is the same concept as current corporation taxes. No corporation should have a disadvantage or an advantage over another. It is our responsibility as young voters to put people in office that will help these issues get changed. The decisions that we make now will live with us for the rest of our lives. Young voters have more responsibility than ever because we are deciding our entire future in this country. Reduce our debt. Support tax reform.